I have the messiest hair today. If you are in England, you will know it has rained continuously the whole year so far of 2026. So welcome to Monday. I was caught in a rain shower on my way home and had a tattoo removal today. So thank you all for your kind messages as I share my removal journey with you. I, as you know, have many tattoos. I absolutely love my tattoos and I would do anything to keep them. Unfortunately, the ink on my fingers faded so quickly, became blurry, became very light, like it had half been rubbed off when it hadn't been rubbed off. And I had it re-tattooed with more ink multiple times to try and keep it. We have lots of circulation in our hands, blood moves differently, tattoos do not stay as easily beyond the wrist onto the hand. So point proven, my faded tattoos are being removed just on my hand. And yes, this is wrapped and protected after having it lasered today. So yes, if you see why I have a bandage on me, it's because I've had laser tattoo removal today. Colin said, did you have your raincoat with you? I was wearing like a jacket with a hood to stay dry, but didn't think it would rain as heavily as it did. So Drowned Rat, welcome. And yeah, the weather is quite wild now. I made it past some of the worst of it, but now I don't know if you can hear, but it's coming down pretty heavy. So I hope you're all well and having a wonderful start to your week, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. I have some interesting cards here about life story. I just need to block a really creepy comment. Please do not write rude things. There we go. Creepy person blocked. Fantastic. And this is about life stories. It's a way to kind of reflect upon your life and share things about ourselves. So hopefully you can join me in looking through this pack of cards, maybe answer a question or two, and I would love to learn more about you also. So something that has just popped up, kind of separating the pack, is here about later life and reflection. So I guess this is those little tidbits of wisdom. Ray says, I like you. Thank you, Ray. I hope you're all well. And this later life and reflection, the question is, what have you changed your mind about over the years? What have you changed your mind about over the years? Ray says, I love you. Thank you, Ray. So a big thing in my life that I changed my mind about is my diet. So Trent says, hello. Hi, Trent. Welcome. As a child, I refused to eat meat and dairy. And at the age of 5, that was when I last had it. And my parents were beside themselves thinking, why is this child so difficult? She won't eat meat or dairy. And then eventually they gave up and allowed me to become vegetarian, I guess it's called. I wouldn't drink milk, but I'd have like egg in a fairy cake, a cupcake, but I wouldn't go and eat an omelette. So I was very removed from the kind of raw item itself. Chase says, hi Tracy, how are you doing today? I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Paulo is says bandages, but still beautiful. Oh, thank you. Just from my laser tattoo removal a couple of hours ago. Victor said, no, from the Philippines. Victor, please don't ask questions like that. Raman says, amazing content, really love the quality and clear presentation of your video. Oh, thank you. Just came on for a chat. Say said, where did you say that? Where did you say that? So I've just got back from a tattoo removal at Norma Studios in Great Portland Street in London. And yes, as a child, very young, I then refused to eat meat and very rarely had dairy, hated fish, hated the eggs and omelettes and boiled eggs and things, never had anything like that. And then I was told for so many years, you are sick, that you've stopped eating meat, you need it, else you're going to be really weak, you're going to be really unwell. And for many years I was unwell, but not because of being vegan, through different health issues that I didn't understand and through lack of nutrition. But not for eating vegetables. Vegetables make you very strong and give you nutrients and things that you need. So it was quite the opposite, but just a misunderstood period of my life. So then when I had my children, I had my daughter at 19 and my son at 25, I forced them to have dairy and fish. And if we were at a restaurant, I would say to them, you have to have meat, because it's really important that you make this choice for yourself. And I was very kind of strict on not imposing my views onto my children so that they would have their own choice in life. And if I had made myself sick, because every time people had said to me, oh, you're vegan, you're going to be malnourished and you're going to be very ill and your hair will fall out and all of these things, I then felt guilty, like I'd caused everything. But actually, the reality is, if you are healthy, you are healthy. It doesn't matter what other people think of your lifestyle, whether they would choose it or not, whether they could go without meat or dairy or not. It makes no difference to me. I don't mind how people live and what they do, and what they eat in front of me makes no difference. But I always said to my children, you have to eat all foods, because I don't want to be the reason that you copy me and you become vegan or vegetarian. But actually, I couldn't cook or have any meat or dairy in my home because I'm so strongly against it myself, just personally. But as we went out to grandparents, as we went to restaurants, when they would have school lunches, they would always have the meat and dairy options, and I would always tick the box to make sure they had that and it was their own choice. Changing my mind over the years, what have you changed your mind about in life? That I do not force people to have something they don't want. So just as my own parents said to me, whoa, we really don't want you to be vegan at the age of 5. That's really extreme, or vegetarian back then it was known as. I had that choice, I had that freedom. And when my children wanted to copy my choice, I felt like I was causing them to do that, and I wouldn't let them make that choice. So now, what have I changed my mind about over the years? I do not force people to not make the choice that they want to make. Instead, I support it. So my children would have happily been vegetarian from childhood without a problem. They both love milk, ice cream, things like that, cheese. They're obsessed with cheese. And yes, there are lots of vegan options available now, but ultimately it's their decision. I won't have it in the house, but I will allow them to have it in a way that doesn't impact or affect my life, because it's just something I'm very strongly against and always have been. So what is something in life that you have changed your mind upon, and why? I think it came from a lot of shame for me growing up, that people blamed me for being unwell because I was vegan. But I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, I have IBS, I have twisted bowels, I have autism and ADHD. All of these things are genetic, not something that I could control, not something I've caused. It's just the way that DNA works, and the hand is dealt in life. But everybody said, of course you're sick because you're vegan. And that shame I carried with me for so many years, until my adult years, when I realised that actually being vegan has made me as strong as I am today. And I wouldn't have the power, the energy and the stamina and strength that I have without that optimum nutrition. So I'm very thankful for that. And I will never stop my children making the choice to be vegetarian or vegan if that's what they wish to do. What have you changed your mind about in life? Let me try and bring you a little bit closer here so I can read some of your comments and catch up, as I've chatted away for a minute there. So I'm slightly behind, even though we're live, I need to catch up on comments. Zishan says, I love you. Oh, thank you. John says, we cherish you. Thank you, John. That's very kind. Sending love and light to you all today. What are you up to, and how are you spending this beautiful start of the week? Teresa says, I'm watching from Kenya. Which magazine cover are you on today? I do have a few magazines coming out. They will be over the next couple of months, and as and when they are released, I will show them to you. I shared some of the behind the scenes videos from my shoots, which is just putting my phone on a tripod and kind of a long distance shot, because obviously you can't get in the way of the photographer, to show you the outfits that I was wearing and some of the poses and things as a little preview for when the magazines go to print. So yes, hopefully you like those behind the scenes. If you'd like to see more, let me know, and next time I'm on a shoot I will take some more. But I also see that it is probably a little bit repetitive if I'm sharing lots of my work and behind the scenes, because when you've seen it once, you've probably seen it a million times. But yes, any feedback is greatly appreciated, and I will either share more or share less. But it's really good to know which you prefer. Owen says, you're live. It's been a little while. How are you? Yes, I am live. It's been absolutely hectic. The start of this year, the end of last year, having surgery, traveling to Turkey and also Africa. It was crazy, crazy busy. My children are now on half term, so it means they have the week off of school. And I'm a single parent, so I'm juggling everything and working and running around and taking care of the house and taking care of the children who are messing up the house, feeding the children. Parenthood is this kind of never-ending cycle of things to do on top of your normal routine. And I think it's really important to still have some me time, to still be able to go to the gym, to still have to go and do food shop twice as much when they're at home, because all teenagers do is eat. They eat, they sleep, they make mess, they eat, sleep, make more mess. So yes, I'm chasing my tail this week, but absolutely love it. I love it when the children are home, because it seems like such a long time that they're at school and college. And when they're back, I just want to give them lots of squishes and kisses and catch up. So when we can just all relax together, play games, watch movies and just have fun, it's such a blessing. And I'm so happy that I get to raise the children whilst working from home. So yeah, it gives me so much joy. And I hope if you guys have children that you love them and cherish them just as much. If you have pets, love and cherish them. These moments are so fleeting. They are only little for such a short, sweet time. Before you know it, they're as tall as you and then they leave home. So yes, it's nice to have some family time, but it stops me from coming online as often because I'm just immersed in love and cuddles and wonderful memories. So scrolling your comments, guys, I don't know why my screen has, no idea why my screen has gone dark, so I'm going to squint to try and see you. Pali says, I'm going to sleep. Good night, God bless. Sleep well. Thank you for joining. Marcin has said something in a different language that I can't read, I'm afraid. There's no translate key there. Khan says, beautiful. Oh, thank you. Nathaniel says, well, that's not right. Vegan doesn't make you ill. Yes, absolutely. But at the time, before there was internet and things, doctors would say, give her steak, make her eat burgers and sausage and eggs for breakfast. And I would say, no, I don't want that. It makes me feel so sick. And I do have so many food intolerances, so many skin sensitivities. Literally everything is off the table for me when it comes to food, apart from fresh, homemade fruit and vegetables. No processing, no additives, preservatives. It's just my body not being able to take it. And when you're very sick and you're in pain and it hurts to eat, doctors have to eventually listen. But they made me feel like it was my fault for being in that pain. Until 20 odd years later, you realise, no, you have twisted bowels, you have IBS, you have hypermobility, which causes all of the connective tissues in the body to just be looser and put you in a lot of pain. So yes, that's where I'm at. I live in chronic daily pain. But I'm thankful that my vegan lifestyle makes me strong and healthy and gives me the stamina to not just lay in bed or on the sofa all day. I have the ability to go to the gym, to go on adventures, to climb mountains, to be active with my children, which I wouldn't have had if I lived on fried food, or if I had fast food, or if I just put things in the oven constantly from a ready meal. You know, so it's really important that we kind of seek the best health in life, and we don't take no for an answer when doctors gaslight you. Khan says, where are you from? I'm born and raised in England, on the outskirts of London. Where are you from? And have you lived in the same area your whole life? Have you moved further away? Have you moved countries even? I'd love to hear where your journey from birth to today has taken you. Siraj says, very happy to see you live. I always learn something from your life. I love your children. When do they come live with you? Oh, thank you. So it's down to the children if they wish to join me or not. Sometimes they say, you know, I'd love to just pop on and come and say hi. Other times they're like, no, do you know what? The internet's not always the nicest place. You do get some random comments from strangers on live streams. It's outside of my control what people say. And it's not really the most suitable place for teenagers to be. There are laws actually coming in where you have to be, I believe the age is 16 to be able to use social media. At the moment, I think it's 12. Maybe it's happened in, I want to say Australia or America, but I know that it's coming to the UK. And I agree with it, because children and teenagers take things so literally. If somebody insults your appearance online or says something hurtful or untrue about you, you'll feel like you've done something wrong and you're to blame. But it's not the case. There can be some very cruel and judgmental people online. And 9 times out of 10, when you click onto the profile of someone who has left a hateful comment, you can see that they are not happy, healthy people. They're not living their best lives or full of positivity or good energy. They are people who are suffering, people who feel misery and depression and sadness on a daily basis, and they just want to deliberately cause pain towards other people. So, you know, I never share the trolls' details when somebody insults my appearance or says something horrible to me online. I don't then take a screenshot of them and say, thank you, or this is what you look like. My goodness. Did you hear that? The rumbling. That's crazy how loud that was. I don't know if you heard that, but yes, that was very crazy rumbling just now. I think there may be a storm outside. So yes, I don't share the same hatred from what one person says to me back on them. I don't, you know, put a mirror in front of them and say, hey, look at you, look at your appearance when you criticize mine, because I feel like they are already suffering enough. They are already feeling that way, that no matter what you say or do, they will just continue to lash out and fight. And that's definitely not an environment to bring children or teenagers into. Trent says, you are a great mother. Thank you, Trent. That's so kind. Nathaniel said, I love a steak, but don't judge someone who doesn't. And likewise, vice versa. If somebody wants to eat whatever food in the world in front of me, it's their life, it's their choice. Just because I wouldn't choose that doesn't mean that I need to insult them or make them feel bad. But likewise, if they say to me, why are you not eating what I'm eating? I'm happy to give my reasons and say, this is why I have this on my plate. We can do so with love and respect towards one another. We can say, you know, there is no hard feelings and we don't have to agree on each other's choices, but we can respect each other and spend time in that scenario, sharing space, holding conversation without being cruel or unkind. And I think a lot of people lose the ability to do that. Carl says, beautiful. Oh, thank you. And Teresa says, watching from Kenya. If beauty was a crime by now, you'd be serving a life sentence. Thank you. Welcome from Kenya. Nathaniel says, who doesn't love cheese? Cheese is amazeballs. They don't love cheese. I used to like goat's cheese when it was it became fashionable before I knew I had a dairy intolerance. And the only cheese I really liked was like the kind of crumbly white cheese of goat's cheese, which kind of didn't taste like a chunky block of cheese. I guess it's kind of, for me, hit or miss. Vegan cheese is quite rubbery. It's not the best. And if you didn't really feel amazed by normal cheese, you wouldn't then go and buy a replacement cheese. And even like fake meat or meat-free, where they make chicken burgers or sausages or mince, I don't like that because I didn't like the real mince. So why would I want a pretend mince that looks and tastes like mince when I don't like mince? You know, it'd be the same as saying to a child, you don't eat Brussels sprouts, but let me make you Brussels sprouts made of beef that look, taste and smell like real vegetables, but they're only beef. But if you don't like Brussels sprouts, you're not going to like them regardless of what they're made of, because you don't like Brussels sprouts. So yeah, it's just the kind of the same thing, really. I am a vegetable vegan, not a fake meat or fake cheese vegan. John says, I'm from Nigeria. Oh, fantastic. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Trent says, Tracy. Hi, Trent. Gordon says, love you lots. Sending love and light to you all. Trent says, I love to see you up close and rained on. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful start to the week. Umar says, hello from Mauritius. Welcome. Lovely country. Sheikh says, I love. Oh, thank you. Rana says, hi. Hi, Rana. And Trent says, yes, I love all of your behind the scenes videos. Oh, well, that's very good to know. In that case, I will continue to share them as and when I have some. Scrolling your comments, I don't know why my screen is so dark. It's like looking into a cave. I think it's just done something funny where my phone has gone to like half light, but the brightness is all the way up. So yeah, we shall see. Teresa says, beauty again. Thank you. Scrolling, trying to catch up. Martin says, so beautiful. Thank you. Nathaniel says, my 3 are on half term too. Mine are 15, 13 and nearly 11. So I'm just busy. Yes. 3 children. My goodness. I think 2 is enough for me. I had 2 under 5s. As a single parent, and it has been the most wonderful, organised chaos. And I love being a mum. It's the nicest thing when they are home and they leave wet towels everywhere and they don't put their plates in the sink and just things like that. I know I will miss that one day. And I'm a bit OCD. I love everything tidied and organised. And I love routine. But then I can also be spontaneous and we can go and do really random fun things on a whim, kind of last minute, do you fancy doing this? And then we'll just run off and have so much fun. And I think it's really nice to have that balance in between. But yes, my son is coming up for 14 in April. So he's not far off, a few weeks away now. And he is nearly taller than me now. He is definitely the same height as me. He may be 1 inch taller than me. But I refuse to keep measuring him because I think it makes him grow faster when I do. So yes, it seems like only yesterday they were little tots and now they are absolutely giants. And I'm a tall person myself for a woman, 5'8", but they are towering. It's scary how quickly they grow up. So enjoy your half term. John says, I love your tattoos. Thank you. Apart from this one that faded that's coming off, I had dots along here and also on my finger here. So they have been zapped. Probably looks like I've been badly injured, but it's not. It's just a laser that's taken off the surface of the skin. Pasha says, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Bill says, okay. And Owen says, going on that, I have 3 kids, 3 cats, 2 dogs, fish and a turtle. We are always so busy with our activities and wanting to do what they want to do. So true. My house is also full of animals. And it's just the life and the soul of your home, isn't it? To have cuddles and laughter and wagging tails. It sounds like you have your hands full with fish as well and a turtle. My goodness, they live so many years, don't they? But that is what makes a lovely family home. And so blessed that you can have so many pets at once. When I was growing up, I had rabbits, I had a cat, I had a dog, I had birds, but only like 1 or 2 at a time, whereas now I have several at a time. So I really do appreciate being able to have many animals, whereas I know that's probably overwhelming for so many others. I typically find that people with multiple pets are normally neurodivergent, so autism or ADHD, either diagnosed or undiagnosed, because when we love something, we love it so wholeheartedly, you can't stop at just one. Like having cookies. You can't just eat one. You want the rest of the pack. You want the rest of the box. If you love animals, you want all the animals in the world. I would have Noah's Ark filled with animals. And if you love children, you want to have all the children in the world. So you normally end up with more than 1 child. But 2 for me is the perfect amount. We are the 3 musketeers and life is lovely. Jackie says, I'm fine. And you? Very well, thank you. Good to hear. And Benjamin says, good morning. Good morning, Benjamin. Where are you for it to be morning? It is almost 6 p.m. on Monday evening. I guess it's evening by 6. And yes, I'm just back from tattoo removal. with my wet hair now drying that look a little bit like a drowned rat because the weather here is crazy right now. John says, how can I find a caring woman like you? I have no idea. Just paths cross in mysterious ways. And I think when you go about life doing the things that are genuine to you, the things that you love, if you play golf, you may meet someone at a golf course. If you love reading and you're at the library, you may meet someone at the library. You have those moments of the things that bring you joy where others also feel that way. I think that's the best way to meet people. I'm not a fan of online dating or online interactions because people aren't who they say they are. They hardly ever use their own pictures. I have so many people pretending to be me. It's so frustrating. It's like banging your head against a brick wall, looking for some sense of authenticity or people to be genuine. And I think you only really get that face to face. So I would suggest doing things in your local area that you really enjoy. Maybe you meet like-minded people that also enjoy it and share in that kind of mindset in life, and you can find some common ground. I hope that's the advice that helps you. Teresa says, my house is always ready to host you here in Kenya. Thank you, that's very kind. Owen says, poke the doctors in the eye and tell them it's their fault the eye hurts. I do not have a very good history with doctors. They've always said, oh, you know, it's because you're tired or it's because you're anxious or something like this, something like that. When you have very physical symptoms and they say, oh, it's because you're a mum, it's because you've had a baby. No, if you have lifelong issues that have lasted so many years, it's not a passing thing. It's not because you haven't slept enough. It's not because you haven't drank enough water. Long-term chronic illness is so disgustingly treated that they just gaslight you into thinking there's nothing wrong or that it's in your head. And how many people now, decades later, have found out that things have been caused by certain medications they've taken in the past or contraceptives they've used, or actually they have physically needed surgery to repair the damage caused by not treating something. And that's exactly what I dealt with. I do not turn to doctors for help. I think they're ridiculous. Instead, I go to surgeons and they know how to fix it because they've seen it so many times. Doctors are GPs, general practitioners. They know as much about you as you know about toothpaste. They have got no expertise in your body. You know yourself. You know what life feels like. You know how your body reacts to things, how your energy levels dip or peak. You will know yourself best. And if a doctor tells you there's nothing wrong or everything's come back normal, that's their favourite thing. You've done a blood test, it's all normal. You know when something is not right. So bypass the doctor, go straight to a specialist and have it diagnosed and possibly, if able to, treated. And that's what I do. I would not waste my time with doctors. I go straight to specialists and surgeons and they fix it immediately. So yes, the difference, well, that's with the NHS in the UK, which I would not recommend to anyone. Xavier says, you are gorgeous. Thank you. Where are you all based and what is your experience of healthcare? Have you had a really good doctor that actually understands you and genuinely wants to help you? Or do you just have the whole thing of, waiting months for an appointment and then they tell you in 10 minutes, oh, nothing's wrong, it's all in your head. Go home and come back in 6 months if it's not okay. And then you come back in 6 months and they just say, nope, nothing's wrong. Nothing can be done. You just have to live with it, I think it's so, so bizarre, the amount of people who have sadly lost their lives because they never got listened to or treated when they went to doctors after taking a long time to ever ask for help, to then just be turned away and told that there's nothing that can be done. Mustafa says, where are you from? I'm from England. Where are you all from? John says, I've just been diagnosed with autism and it's tough. Yes, and likewise, I received my autism diagnosis last year, 2025. I'm 38, So it took him a while to get there, but we got there. My son had his diagnosis as a child, autism and ADHD, just as mine, although his is more severe autism. So it was potentially easier to pick up, and girls mask things. I always felt like I was participating with the world, watching through a television, through glass. Everybody was living and doing their thing, and I was the other side of this. And I never fully understood how to interact with people. So I understand where you're coming from, John, and I hope that you're okay. And knowing how your brain works is a really important way to navigating life. To not blame yourself, to not feel like there's something wrong with you for being different to other people. Just to know that your difference is completely natural and normal to you. And actually, there are a lot of neurodivergent people who think and feel the same way, but just don't know how to interact, to portray those emotions, and to share what their reality is. So instead you hear people who don't understand talking very loudly about the things they don't understand, rather than those who suffer speaking up. Because I was a very shy child. I had no idea how to communicate or participate socially. And even as an adult, I much prefer being around children and animals to other people. So I think, yeah, we all have our own unique journey with social norms, and thinking differently is not a bad thing. I think the world needs more open-minded thinkers, and you definitely get that from the authenticity of autism. I'm blessed to have it. I understand my son so much, because the things that he faces and goes through in life are the same things that I've already faced and gone through decades before. So if anything, it makes it a more beautiful journey to understand that we are not the only ones. Luke says, hi Trace, how are you today? I'm very well, thank you. Tattoo removal. Yes, so I won't be going to any hot countries for a while whilst my skin heals. It's just having laser removal. So each bit of ink was zapped with a hot laser, and then it is just covered to prevent any infection whilst it heals. So yes, here on my ring finger and my index finger, all the dots have been zapped. But that will come off in a day or so, and then it will be okay. How are you all, and have you got any tattoos? Have you ever removed a tattoo? It's a fun experience. Owen said, you would hate my house. I cook like my gran. I use lard for Yorkshire puddings. I do full roast using goose fat, and I do bake loads too. I make a great cake. I can easily alter the recipe for vegans though. The amount of people when I go to their houses and they're like, oh, so sorry, I've got a steak in the oven. Do you put them in the oven? Something in the oven, something cremating in the oven. Or they're like frying eggs or steaming fish and think, oh, I'm really sorry to offend you that I'm just doing this. It's fine, it's your home. And if they say, would you like a meal? I'm like, no, I'm fine, thank you. And I go home and I eat all my vegetables and I'm fine. I also think that the way we eat should be something that we celebrate, and we shouldn't feel ashamed or nervous or unable to enjoy the things that we enjoy, because that's what life is about. For me, because I love animals so much, the thought of them suffering or being farmed or losing their lives, for me to have a snack or a dinner or a treat, it feels unfair. Because if I put the shoe on the other foot, would I want my child to be eaten or blended, all these things done to them? I wouldn't. So how could I take an animal's child? How could I take that animal's life? And that's just how I feel. And it's probably because I'm autistic that my mind sees this great sense of justice, and I just cannot justify that. But I know lots of people don't feel that way. Probably the majority of people don't feel that way. And I can't change the way that I feel. I can just make peace with that and say, well, I won't participate, but other people do what they do. We're all on this earth, and everybody has their reasons for and against things. So yes, let bygones be bygones, let people be people. And yeah, I was raised in a family that behaves just like your gran does there. So yes, I think that's just part of normal family life and generations to prepare such meals. But in my home, no, I don't have that. Neither do my children. Xavier says, warm cheers from California. Welcome and thank you. Fatah says, greetings of health and success always. Thank you, and to you also. That's very kind. Luke says, yes, there's going to be a storm. That was so loud. Like literally rumbled. I don't know if you heard it on the camera, but I thought like someone drove into the house or something. It sounded awful. Steve says, hello. Hi, Steve. Scrolling your comments. Luke says your face looks clearer, not red. So yeah, I have like a couple of spots here. They always come up around my period. Hormonal acne. I also have a hormone imbalance, which is wonderful. My body believes that I've constantly just given birth, which is prolactin. Don't know where that came from, but my DNA is interesting to say the least. So every now and then I will get really overheated. My face will glow red. When I go to the gym for a workout, my goodness, like I want to peel my skin off. It's so, so warm. And then I'll randomly have like a flare up where my face is just burning hot. I have rosacea, I have sensitive skin, all the fun things. But yes, today it's not happening. I have my face lasered a lot. I use red light therapy and to treat like inflammation through Ehlers-Danlos syndrome that I have. My body is constantly inflamed. So I do feel like I've been set fire to, which isn't fun, but is just part of chronic inflammation in the body. So kind of having health and nutrition to offset that. Sometimes I guess when my immune system is under attack, say there's cold and flu and things, and you're fighting germs, because I have chronic inflammation, and if I'm then, exposed to coughs and sneezes and things, my immune system's working so hard, it then shows on my skin and I will get like a red flare up, or my body temperature will really change, just that it's working so hard, it has to drop some of the guard, but I never get sick. So I'm very fortunate, touch wood, for that I live a healthy, active lifestyle, but I also do have chronic illness that is kind of juggling with sensitivities of skin, and I'm intolerant to literally every food on this planet. So maybe when they do go to Mars, I might have a look there and see if they've got something I could eat. Otherwise, just fruits and vegetables are fine. Scrolling your comments, Ronnie says your accent is amazing. Thank you, Ronnie. That's very sweet. Fatah says, how are you there? Are you all well? From Indonesia. Oh, welcome. Yes, very well here. Apart from the rain. It's crazy how quickly it comes down. Scott says hello from Scotland. Hi, Scott. Has it rained where you are? It's, insane today. Trent says you look amazing as a mother of your two. Your body is so beautiful. Oh, thank you. Well, I was a mother quite a few years ago now, so I can't say like I've recently, had a baby. I haven't. They are 18 and soon to be 14. So I've had a few years to burn off the mum tum. And I guess as I grew up with my children, I was 19 when I had my daughter. I was very skinny. I was very weak. I had no muscle mass. I just fell asleep all the time because I was just burnt out. And now I'm the heaviest I've ever been. Had the most muscle I've ever had. I'm so energetic. I like do cartwheels off of the wall. I'm just so full of life and energy, and I love it. So I wouldn't have it any other way. Owen says, in response to your messy kids comments, it's a home, so a little lived in mess is the right way to be. Yeah, absolutely. And when they're not here, when they're out all day at school and college, everything's so pristine. I'm like, oh, because I love things being in their place. But it would never be at the expense of not allowing them to be children. So I would never stop them from making a mess. But then I'm like, life would be easier if they didn't make so much mess. It's that kind of happy medium, as you say, that lived in home. And it's kind of more show home, but with some messy bits. And then I kind of tidy those messy bits and make it more calm, and everything's just peaceful, and there's candles and there's plants, and it's just relaxed. It's my kind of soft corner of the world that I really like. So yes. Fatah says, I'm leaving Indonesia. It's late at night. I'm going to rest and sleep. Oh, I hope you sleep well. Thank you for joining. Denny says, good. Thank you. And Owen says, the turtle could outlive me. That's scary, isn't it? I think, don't they live like 80 years, 100 years or something? Is that what turtles are? Or is that terrapins? Or is it sea turtles? I know there's some kind of turtle, like parrots, 70, 80 years. Who do you leave your turtle to then? Or do you have to kind of do in your will, an animal sanctuary will take your turtle or something? How does that work? Who becomes the owner? Do you have to sign over like an adoption for your pet if they outlive you? Oh, I haven't even thought of things like this. Otis says, hello, hi there. Owen says, ADHD, get out of my brain. Yeah, that's why I really struggle to sleep, but that's just part of, I think, autism and ADHD to have insomnia is the funnest thing ever. Xavier says, you look amazing. Thank you, that's very kind. Somebody has said something, I can't read your name because it is in a foreign language, but you've put, I'm from Bangladesh, so beautiful. Oh, thank you. Ali says, hi. Hi there, welcome everyone. Michael says, big up live. Oh, thank you. Owen says, online dating and Facebook and stuff have ruined dating 100%. Absolutely. I think they've absolutely destroyed humanity by bringing us together in like the most negative and antisocial way. So definitely get out there, meet people face to face and live life whilst you're blessed to be alive. So thank you all for joining, guys. I hope you have a wonderful start to your week, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I'd love to hear your answer to the question on the later life reflection. What have you changed your mind about over the years? What have you changed your mind about over the years? And I hope that whatever you're doing, you have a peaceful, relaxing, and just happy experience of your day. Life is entirely what you make it. So make it positive, make it uplifting, and make it joyful. We are so blessed to be alive, and every second is a miracle. It counts. Do not waste it.